Greetings, my fellow intellectuals and bookworms. Time for another book review. The book Thief. That's the book we'll be reviewing today. First of all, I'm sure you fucking heard of it. It's either required reading in school if you're in the US, or you've probably seen the fucking movie. Anywho, as you can see, this copy's kind of tattered. Got it from a used bookstore. So it tells about this girl during World War II who proceeds to steal books from the Nazis when they're burning them and such. And her parents are unknown, she's possibly Jewish, and she manages to survive the war. And it's told through a unique perspective. It's told basically through the perspective of the Grim Reaper. And if you did not know, there's a movie about it, excuse me. And great book, highly recommend it. Can tell it's a textbook because at the end there's discussion questions and bullshit like that. Anywho, so I read the whole thing because surprisingly, I've never read it. It's a classic. It's almost always required reading, and I've never read it. So, there's that. So, it tells the story of Lysol. Yeah, that's her name. And how she perpetuates small acts of rebellion against the Nazis. And, as I said, it's told through the perspective of death. And honestly, I think it adds more to it than make it depressing. Basically, always found that interesting because we don't really look at stories through death. We personify death in most cultures and even in the US, but we don't really tell stories through it. I imagine to the Grim Reaper, absolutely nothing seems normal. Wars, famine, what have you. And he talks about how his impact on the war and so on and blah, blah, blah. And I understand human fascination with death. It's the one thing we want to beat. We want to beat the Grim Reaper, and we tell him not today. We use modern medicine to extend life expectancies, and that's why in less than a century we went from 30 years on average life expectancy to more than 70 in some countries, to even 85 in others. But ultimately, we're not stopping him. We're just telling him not today. And I think this explores that universal human theme. Another reason why I'm interested in this perspective, if you did not know this, when I finally got sick of some of the bullies who'd fucked with me all my life, well, I did the arm lock on him, where I held his arms in the way I could break him, publicly humiliated him, and kids, for a decent amount of time, showed some deference and respect to me, and they started calling me the Grim Reaper, the Reaper in Death. Honestly, most people would be offended by that nickname, but not me. I found it cool. Some other things that I need to mention, non-book related. Ultimately, I'd give it 4 or 5 stars. First of all, my phone's getting low on space, about 3 gigabytes, and it's also getting old. This is a 4-plus-year-old iPhone SE, one of the best phones I've ever owned, but it's getting old and the battery's maybe starting to go. Estimates at 60 or 70%. So, you may be seeing new content on a new phone sometime when this finally craps out. In addition, it's hard to see how many subscribers I have because it's crowded at the top and all my videos are at the bottom. Now, a problem with YouTube, if you want to see the older videos, you have to click on oldest first, which is some bullshit, as you all know. But anywho, I highly recommend you get this book. Get it from Barnes & Noble, Amazon, your local bookstore. Like, comment, and subscribe if you have not done so. And I will be doing another video today as well for you. I will be giving you a video on why I think Disney is headed for complete collapse. And I know I'm going to get flack for that, but I just don't give a fuck because I'm one badass motherfucker. This is Sean Hartnett wishing you a good day.